Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me now is Sumit and we're going to talk about the ongoing situation vis-a-vis the Khalistanis, 𝗤𝗚𝘅 Pannu, Nijjar, and what has happened thus far. What is also happening between the spat of India and Canada, and also now US is beginning to weigh in. The politicians have said something. The actual bureaucrats are saying something else. To understand all this, to make sense of all this and where things are headed, we're going to have Sumit give us the entire data in the last 24 hours. A lot has happened. So first, please like this video and share, comment, and subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so. Sumitji, namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel.
Sri sir, namaskar, pranam, sadhuwad, and vanakkam. Thank you very much for the invite. Always a pleasure, sir.
So two things have happened today, Sumit. That is what I've been able to keep track of. One is, and you can get the story in pgurus.com viewers, that the NIA has confiscated the properties of 𝗤𝗚𝘅 Pannu in Amritsar as well as in Chandigarh. This is just the preliminary information. The story is all there in pgurus.com. You can go and read that. We'll try to put that in the description section. So you want more data, you can get it from there. Now, beyond that, a lot of other things have happened. United States, many comments. And to make sense of all these things, Sumitji, you are a master storyteller. I yield the floor to you. Over to you.
Sir, in the name of Bhagwan Sree Ganesha, let's do the Sree Ganesha of what is the mood and what is happening, and most important, what is going to happen possibly. Because our title says what next. The first and the most important thing which has happened is that India is not in a mood to relent. India is in a mood to, Pradeep Shoriji, thank you. India is in a mood of decisive action now. Because what I find and what the West thinks of India, or what they believe the pattern of India's action was that of 2013. But this is 2023 and it's India Modi, so it doesn't take things lined up. Now, what they are rattled by the response which they are getting. Not the Canadian government, not these Khalistanis, but the whole ecosystem. Now, the word I'm using is whole ecosystem is on target. Like in J&K, it was not terrorists, it was organized workers, it was all kind of people who were helping, supporting them, sympathizers. I think that is the model, what I've gathered from some people here. That is the model, what is going to be replicated here. The good or the bad news I have for, because there are all kinds of people. You know, the good news is that India is hitting them hard. The bad news is that people, whoever are even remotely linked with them, are heading for big time trouble. Now, what has happened today? The first thing which has happened today, we have some pictures to show, even Sachinji will show them. Now, NIA has got into action. We have been demanding through PGurus channel and through national TV also, I've been demanding, why don't we attach their properties in Chandigarh, Punjab? We know where the properties are upon. So even if you look at this property, it is in the name of somebody else. He has written somebody else's name outside the house. The house has some else name. But the property belongs to the Pannu. So it doesn't matter the property is in the name of Pannu or property is not in the name of Pannu. Have you put a benami or not put a benami, and it is confiscated. So the technical word here is usually NIA attaches the property. Here, you see, this is evacuation notice. So confiscation, as per I understand, is one step higher than attachment, wherein you get the physical kabza and the title of the property. Wherein when we talk of the properties attached, the people can be living in the property, but the title goes to the NIA or ED or whatever. So confiscation means that you have to evacuate the property. You cannot no longer live in the property. So there's a difference between attachment and confiscation. So what are we talking here, sir? We are talking here confiscation. We have seen those evacuation notices. So any property of Nijjar and all properties of this Pannu, both have been confiscated. Sir, aap kuch keh rahe the? Ji.
I think you meant confiscation. Confiscation. Please continue.
Yes. So what this means, they cannot live there now. They have to vacate the house. If they are doing kheti, they can no longer do the kheti there. If they have a car, they can no longer drive the car. So this is a very, very big move. Usually you attach, you don't go to this step. So here the message is very subtle and clear. We are going to do what is in the best national interest, and this will be done. Now, the second thing, what I've come to know is that Pannu and Nijjar are only the beginning. It's not limited to them. Now, Target is complete ecosystem. Ecosystem means direct involvement, indirect involvement, sympathizer, facilitator, or financer. So all these 5 category of people: directly involved, indirectly involved, sympathizer, facilitator, and financer. All these people are on the radar now. So the crackdown, thanks to Justin Trudeau and his circus, now the crackdown is on all of these full ecosystem. So the people who are remotely involved, or who have been financing them, who have been involved in them, or it's not now confined to ringleaders only. That is the message here. It's not only ringleaders are kind of involved. No, all the complete ecosystem will have to pay a price. What I'm very, very happy about now the things have reached their doorstep, and they will be feeling the pinch and heat of it. It's easier sentence. And if somebody asks me to come and leave the house within 5 days or 10 days, then you feel, what does it mean? You feel, what is the cost of this terrorism? What does this terrorism mean? What does it mean of threatening Hindus of Canada? What does it mean threatening the Prime Minister of India and the External Affairs Minister of India? Now you will know how does it mean. And all your relatives and all your relations will also be in radar. It's not I transfer the property to my brothers and I say, oh, look, this is my brother's property. He has nothing to do with it. No. If he's indirectly related to me, sorry, he will also have to pay the price. That is point number 1. Raids. Point number 2, the raids by Punjab police and NIA, what we talked about on the last show, have been going on. And we are yet to know of some of the substantial outcomes which have come out. Unofficially, we have some idea, but by the time these are national security issues, by the time the government of India, the Punjab police or the NIA does not reveal it, we can't be talking more about it, that what are there. But my sources tell me there are some substantial revelations which are even going to come there. And unfortunately, the ecosystem, Sree sir, is bigger than what we thought. Ecosystem is bigger than what we thought. It is not a small ecosystem. That is point number 3. And point number 4, what I want to bring to your notice is that with all this going on the international arena, there are 2-3 important developments which have happened. First of all, the stand-up comedian meets the Canadian comedian. Zelensky was in Canada, and he has met Theodore, and they were discussing, you know what? They were signing, or they have signed something called a FTA, Free Trade Agreement. Now I wonder, you are not willing to do a FTA with India, and India has, knocked you out. Now you are going to do a FTA with Zelensky, with Ukraine. What is there to trade with Zelensky? What are you going to buy and sell with Ukraine? It's a war-torn country. It's already devastated country. So are you so desperate, Justin, that you want to say that, okay, I have not got this FTA, I've got this FTA? It is a difference between, it's a difference between a golden apple and a copper apple. I mean, or origami apple. So is this what you're trying to say? I didn't get this FTA, I'm going to do this FTA. And what was the response of Canadian people? I've seen some videos which all of you must have seen. They've been in some channels. They have been using the word B for both of them. BS, and you know what else it means. They've been using these words for both of them, saying, get out. This Zelensky, get out. That is the response he's getting on Canadian soil, Zelensky. That is number 1. Number 2, a very senior officer, a former Pentagon big boss, has come up and he today said that, what does this theory mean that Nijjar was a plumber, he was this, he was that? By that logic, Osama bin Laden was also a constructor builder, and Ayman al-Zawahiri was a doctor. So exactly the point I'm trying to make. Does a citizenship and profession give you immunity against terrorism? So then Zawahiri was also a doctor, Osama bin Laden was also a constructor builder. So how does being a plumber and a Canadian citizen give you immunity from being a terrorist and carrying acts of terrorism? And what has also surprised Sree sir is when Nijjar went to Pakistan, there are pictures of him with a AK-47. We can't show that because of the YouTube norms and all. But these pictures are everywhere to be found. Anybody can go to a Google and find these pictures. He is openly with an AK-47. I mean, he's with an AK-47. And this picture was taken when he was in Pakistan. So the support of ISI and all is very, very clearly documented here. That's point number 3. Now we go to the next point. What has happened is even the Canadian leader of opposition is talking about whatever so-called report the Canadian intelligence has come up with. It is all Google information. I can Google and find it. Okay, he was a plumber, he came then he got citizenship, then he got it. This is all Google information. What is the credible evidence? What is the so-called credible evidence you are giving in the report? Either you name the person, you name the agency, you name who helped them, who facilitated them. If India has done anything, you come and name it. I mean, what are you talking about? You're just talking about the information which is available on the Google. Now, the point I'm trying to make is even the leaders of the opposition within Canada are challenging the Canadian intelligence's report. And yesterday, what we saw, yesterday was also very funny. We saw some Canadian newspapers have been saying we have an alleged source. And as per that alleged source, Indian state organized the kill of this Canadian citizen Nijjar. Now, yesterday I was on a TV debate and I was confused. I said, "Bhaiya, ek minute ruko." Up till day before yesterday, I was told it's Canadian intelligence, which is credible intel. Now I am being told there is a newspaper who has some alleged source, and that alleged source claims that allegedly somebody, knocked out Nijjar and they were Indian government agents. So I said, is Canadian intelligence run out of a paper from a newspaper's office? And are Canadian field agents depending on the alleged source of a newspaper? Is this how Canadian intelligence is working? And to sum it further, what happened today? This is exactly what the Canadian leader of opposition has to say. He said, "Bhaiya, ek baat batao, tell me thing for the sake of God. Whatever information you are claiming or giving is all on the Google. Where is the intel part of it? Intel part means this car was used, these were the people, this is their identity, they came by this flight, they went by this flight, this is their passport number, this is their alias, or whatever. So these all things, there is nothing credible even which the Canadian opposition finds. And as for the ex-Pentagon officer, he says this all is absolute mockery. I mean, what I've been trying to say, you cannot legitimize terror with occupation and citizenship. Then both of them were Saudi and one was Egyptian national. So by that logic, how are they terrorists? And by the absolute logic like this, every terrorist is a national of some country. There are no terrorists which come from Mars or Saturn or Pluto. They are born to a human, human mother and father, and they have their nationalities of some country. It may be Pakistan in most of the cases. So this slamming of Theodore internationally, domestically, by his own opposition has left him rattled. And he and his desperate attempt to trying to do a FTA with Ukraine, sir, you believe in FTA with Ukraine? I mean, what are we talking here about? It's like slapping yourself, looking in the mirror, slapping your face. This is what has done. You had a point, research.
Sorry, I just wanted to add one little thing. I just want to show our viewers a tweet here. Now, this is something that I put out about 10, 12 hours ago. I said, okay, a lot of things are happening. There is a video where I've captured all the data about the Canadian Minister for Immigration saying that first he said Nijjar got Canadian citizenship in 2015. Then he said, oh, no, I made a mistake. He got it in 2007. The interesting thing was Interpol issued a red corner notice on Nijjar in 2016, 2016, where they said that he's an Indian citizen. Now, today, in your first photograph that you showed that he is a US and Canadian citizen, right? Fair enough. My question is that here is a guy, is a rascal, who's calling for all Canadian Hindus to leave Canada. Tu kaun hota hai be? Bolne wala? Now, that is one thing. So I asked some question. Tumhara handler kaun hai? Who's your handler? Is it CIA or is it CCP? Then I said, what is Justin Trudeau doing about it? These are people who are paying taxes in your country. They are paying your salary. They are running your government. Is this how you treat them? Next, I asked our own good president, Mr. Biden. I said, when are you bringing this guy's ASS over here? Because the problem is that you cannot do something like this and there has to be some action. The only action I've seen so far is Jagmeet Singh saying that everybody has a right to live in Canada. So I can tell you, Sirji, viewers see that video, okay? I put out a video. This was a tweet in connection with that video. Take a look at that video because I'm analyzing the situation on the ground as to what else could be happening inside Canada, inside Canadian politics, okay? So take a look at that because I have a feeling that both Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh are going after the Canadian Sikh vote. Sikh, Sikh, S-I-K-H. I'm not saying S-I-C-K. I want to be very clear. They both are trying to go after that vote. So each one is taking a bigger posture. Now, Jagmeet Singh has realized that ye bahut zyada chala gaya. Now he has come back and said everybody has a right to live in this country. Thank you at least for that. In that limited point, I want to thank Jagmeet Singh Dhaliwal. Now, back to you. And one last thing is the same the same security person from US also explained, look, when it happened in the case of Khashoggi, we got all the data from Turkey. That is how we could say that it was Saudi Arabia that was behind that thing. So he is actually drawing parallels also. What is credible, what is and what is just incredible, where you are saying alleged this, that. So point is, the burden of proof rests with the Canadian government. They need to come up and say exactly what it is that they found. And allegations or no allegations, that doesn't cut much ice. Over to you. I will not interrupt you again. Thank you.
No, not at all, sir. Anytime. Now, what has happened? Why is the Jagmeet Singh chickening out? I'll tell you, sir. Because after today's action, where I told you we'll be cracking down on the complete ecosystem, Sara ecosystem. We don't. It doesn't matter. Do you have a property in your name or it is in your some those, friends and all, benamis and all will be tracked. And we have the power to attach them and confiscate them. So both options are available. Attaching is a bit lower, thing. But what is used in them is a superlative. We take the kabza, we take the title, and we take the physical control of the property. That is where people are getting now chipped down. Their relatives will be hurt, their friends will be hurt, their business partners will be hurt. Anybody who has anything to do is on the radar. And what I have come to know is that even people who will be seeing remote links with them, if you are NRI, your OIC, your PIO card, your Indian passport may be revoked, and even if you are a foreign citizen, then you will have an NRE account here. You will have an NRO account here. Just say, "Aap paise waise bhejte hoge," sending you. So they all might be attached. There is a possibility these all accounts will be attached. So the crackdown is on the ecosystem, and this is exactly the move why these all guys are chickening out. This is exactly the move why these all guys are rattled and matlab nani yaad aa gayi hai. Ab nani yaad aani shuru ho gayi hai. Now, what I understand, Modi ji is not in a mood to relent because he wants to make this as a case study. Because what Modi ji sees it is that Canada trying to interfere in the India's internal affairs. First of all, you are doing nothing against Khalistanis. We send you a list, bhaiya ye Nijjar hai. You said you put him in a no-fly list and that's it. Now, if I have a picture of him with the AK-47 and our channels have with him shooting and trying to run terrorist camps, don't tell me your incompetent Canadian intelligence doesn't have it. They also have it. The question is what you have been doing. You have been doing nothing. You have been trying to close your eyes. You have been trying to be an ostrich. Being an ostrich in international politics doesn't help, Mr. Justin. You have to understand that. Now, moving next, what is happening? Now, let me bring an international angle to it. Then I'll say, what are we going to do next? So, international angle is, I am looking at one disturbing link. Pakistani YouTubers and all these jihadis, takla jihadi, daadi wala jihadi, European passport wala jihadi, American passport wala jihadi, French cut jihadi. There are various flavors of jihadi. And of course, lipstick nail polish jihad, my favorite. Now, these all have got together and they are trying to run a propaganda. You know what is the propaganda? I'll tell you. They are trying to run, because of this, there will be a Hindu-Sikh divide. They are trying to ferment a Hindu-Sikh divide. And they are trying to make a situation, will Hindus be safe in Canada? Now, you see, that is where ISPR and ISI ka propaganda comes into play. Otherwise, what the hell is your business between Hindu and a Sikh? How are you concerned with the Hindu and this? If you talk about Pakistanis in Canada, I understand. But why are you trying to talk about, will my right hand hurt my left hand? Or will I have, slap myself with the right hand or the left hand? That is none of your business. But what they are trying to do, sir, slowly, they are trying to provoke these Khalistanis. As I told you, a lot of them are gangsters. So they are trying to provoke them. They are trying to ferment the seeds of divide, and they are trying to make this, if trouble breaks out in Canada or elsewhere, that might make it legitimate. Look, this is a natural outcome. Ye hona hi tha, ye to aisa to hoke rahega. I mean, that is what ISI's full ISPR is, all YouTubers and full-blown battery. This is what they are trying to do. This is what they are discussing on the Pakistan media. This is what is the hottest topic on YouTube channel. And don't, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, don't be carried out by any Pakistani talking good. That is all al-taqiya. They are all targeted by ASPR to sell you, what called this honey. It is not honey. It is not, there's a difference between sugar and brown sugar. Do not consider brown sugar as sugar and have it. Though we have brown color sugar, right? But that is entirely different from brown sugar, the drug. So what they are selling you is brown
I
sugar.
think what you're saying is, Sarji, sorry, what you're saying is raw sugar. Raw
Yeah,
sugar
raw sugar.
is the color of brown. Sugar with
correct.
color brown. That's what you meant.
Right.
And also one small thing.
Gee.
What Sumit is saying is, don't get carried away by the narrative being put out by the Pakistani channels in the name of 𝗤𝙤𝘅, meaning like want to make behave friendly. This is all basically gas. That's why we have been bringing so much content on what is happening in Canada as well as in India in PGurus, 3-4 videos a day. We are doing our due diligence. We are doing checking and double checking. Please go back to you, sir. Over to you.
Sir, the most important thing is they are trying to make this look eventual. Ki ye to hoke rahega. This will happen. And they're trying to make it normal. Oh, it's a natural outcome. When this will happen, this will happen. So this is what we have to be very, very, very careful about, because they are shit scared and jealous of Indian diaspora. They are very, very jealous of their prosperity, our getting amalgamated in the society and our contributions to the society. So they are trying their level best ki कहते हैं ना बहती गंगा में हाथ धोना और आग में घी डालना, to add ghee to the fire. That is what they are trying to do, so that the fire becomes bigger. So we have to be careful about that. Second striking similarity which I found after my analysis: Khalistanis, Pakistani handles, Chinese handles, including China ka dalal, CCP agents, leftists, these left liberals, urban excels, Soros cabal, deep state players. All of them have suddenly started supporting Congress. This is a very important point I'm trying to make. All of them have suddenly started giving complete support to Congress and trying to project Rahul Gandhi as the savior. You see, both the things are working tandemly. Here we have Pakistanis trying to say this will happen, Hindus will be hurt, their interests will be hurt, and there is a Hindu-Sikh divide, which is not on the ground. So they are trying to make it as a normal, legitimate outcome. And here, the complete cabal, the people I named you, they are all trying to support Congress, and they are all trying to project Rahul Gandhi as the prime ministerial candidate. Now, who is running this? Now, intelligence agencies of various countries and various vested interests have into it. This is going to be the new Manipur, unfortunately. As I told you, Manipur is not about Manipur. Like Mahabharata was not about Mahabharata. Kurukshetra was the place where the Yuddha was fought, where the battle was fought. Earlier it was Manipur. Now I am looking at this India-Canada as the new triangle, or the new Kurukshetra, where all the cabal is activated. Sir, last 48 hours I've been tracking them. These all guys are activated. All guys are activated, and they are somehow trying to bring up Congress, bring down BJP, trying to put it on Prime Minister Modi. You see what Modi is doing, and how Rahul Gandhi can be a saver. How is Mohabbat ki dukaan can be the saver. And incidentally, I was on a debate today on a TV. I said, Mohabbat ki dukaan mein tushtikarana ka saman, divide and rule ka pravdhan. So all the people who understand that is the summary of your Mohabbat ki dukaan. I can go one step ahead, but I'm not going. So you are trying to make a point. Gee.
Nothing, just that these days Manipur is spelled MONEYPUR. After you.
Absolutely, sir. Kudos. That is what it was all about. It was all about money. It was all about opium. It was all about $600 million of opium cultivation and the Chinese interest and all. Now, this is a dangerous trend. These two trends have started simultaneously. When I looked at the timing of these tweets, they are almost there. So the thing what we have to be careful about, the international agencies have got him. And I can say with a lot of conviction at my command, Pannu is an asset of CIA. So ye to maan ke chaliye. He is an asset of CIA, and CIA is also playing its own games. So with all these things happening, but now the problem reaching Pannu's doorstep, what will happen? Now, these are the two important things which will happen. Now, we'll go to the next phase of our discussion. What next? The most important or the best news I have for Pannu is, and his sympathizers is, Mr. Pannu, your property वगैरह तो गई. I'll say Hindi and English both. There's a person called Lawrence Bishnoi. एक बंदा है Lawrence Bishnoi. He has threatened you directly. Today, there's a direct threat issued by Lawrence Bishnoi to Gurpatwant Singh Pannu and his clan. कि भैया औकात में रहो. So now Lawrence Bishnoi is the one who took who said that he was behind the killing of the Sukhdev Singh, the Khalistani, which was killed two days back. Now, after this, I have heard Pannu has literally gone out underground. He is literally shaking because here you have Government of India confiscating, NIA taking out all his property and all. And here you have a personal death threat from Lawrence Bishnoi. And looking at the track record, I'm just looking at the track record. I'm not trying to draw any inferences here. Sir, in last 2.5 years, if you look at the complete list of all Chota Bada people, I think it will be around 150 to 200 people which have been eliminated out of India, which were enemies of India. I'm not talking about those big boys, even the smaller ones, Chota Bada Milake. There are a couple of them in Nepal, Canada, everywhere. There's around 150 to 200 people. Now, Lawrence Bishnoi has the capability to hit in Canada. You have seen in Sukhdev Singh's case, right? And now, what is brother of Jagmeet Singh was assaulted two Indian demonstrators. Oh, frustrated ho gaye na, bhai sahab. They are frustrated now. They don't know what to do. Now, these people are now after you. Property bhi gayi, paisa bhi gaya, and now you have an enemy like Lawrence Bishnoi with his network. So now, good luck, Mr. Pannu. I hope you are safe. Till the time you are safe. So this is what has happened. This is the good news I want to share for Pannu. And the second good news I want to share for you, it's not only you, Pannu. Your all other, jo hai na, chatte batte, they are also on the radar. So better watch yourself. And the third point I want to make, which is very important, is with all these developments happening, what are the Indian government to do? And I'll come to another side of it. Indian government is considering putting tariffs on Chinese imports. Sorry, Canadian imports. China mere muh se nikal on Canadian imports. I love China so much. On these Canadian imports. Now, the trade between India and Canada is around $14 billion. We export 4 billion. We export 10 billion. We import 4 billion. So we have a $6 billion of trade surplus with you. But at an export of $770 billion, if we do not do $10 billion, it's 1.2% of the trade. But that trade is going to impact you a bit. And then I'll have one more good news to share for Justin. Justin Bhaiya, the government of India is also contemplating right now and evaluating what are they going to do vis-a-vis students which are being sent to Canada. Because our parents here, our students here, they are apprehensive. There have been media reports today which are saying, Bhaiya, we are concerned for sending our kids to Canada because they might be subjected to racial discrimination and hatred, which is politically motivated by your good buddy Jagmeet Singh. So now we constitute 40% of your total students which are going for the universities. Because we are paying the full fees, that is why you have been able to give subsidized education to you a lot. Now, imagine if this 40% moves out, you have to be on the mercy of Chinese. And if you're on complete mercy of Chinese, now you know Chinese always take their pound of flesh, pound of flesh. So your universities and the repute of your universities will be under question mark. And it doesn't stop, story doesn't stop here. It goes to the next level. Your population today is not good enough to sustain your country. You need young, vibrant minds, right? Oh, I have to protect him. Very scared all the time. Whatever, security personnel. I'm telling you, when Lord Mahakal wants you, you are dead. It doesn't matter what security you have. So don't irk Lord Mahakal. भगवान महाकाल को गुस्सा न दिलाइए और महाकाल के भक्तों को भी गुस्सा न दिलाइए. कल को कुछ हो गया तो ये मत बताइए हमने बताया नहीं. So now the point is, sir, when these students are not going there, so where will you get those young, vibrant minds to run your economy, to run your companies, to run your factories, to run your IT and all? That's point number one. And thirdly, the diaspora, which is what Sree sir said, is paying you a lot of money. What is this, sir?
So this is the no-fly list, where Hardeep Nijjar with 2 aliases are all there. This is the topic. Thank you so much, Rajiv ji. We already had this thing. You got in very nicely. So essentially what he's trying to say is that the Western media, again, see, remember viewers, not everyone in Canada is towing the line of Justin Trudeau. You watch Terry Milosky, very, very center. He's not saying this side or that side. He's just saying, I'm going by the data I have. There is also a former chief of Canada intelligence who's also saying the same thing. And without data, right, you can't make accusations. That is really at the core of it. So this is where the narrative gets messed up for Canada, and we'll see how it goes. Back to you.
Ji, Now, when you will not have them, so there's a big motivation. Like, Indians go for study, then they try to settle there, they take the PR, then they buy properties there. A lot of us have a tendency of buying a property there. So we might liquidate. Then the next step is, let's start a business here. Let me call my papa, mama. Let me call my father-in-law, mother-in-law, right? So then they will liquidate a house. And so a lot of money is traveling to Canada through Indian diaspora. Now, if this is what you are going to do, if you are going to threaten the Hindus there, who are tax-paying citizens or builders, your economy don't count the economic impact as 10 billion. I think the economic impact will be much, much more. You will have a human capital loss and you will have an economic loss. So you are counting on two losses, and your dependence on China will be more and more, which is dangerous, which is disastrous for your country in the long run. Another development I want to report is that I5 countries have not bought your theory. You have tried all the I5 and all, nobody is buying your theory. They're only giving diplomatic gestures here and there, but nobody is buying your theory. Nobody has told India anything. So there you are getting left out. And I'll also tell you the power of the Indian diplomacy. You have to realize, Justin, what is the power of Indian diplomacy? Look, as per your constitution, your monarch is King Charles. So is for UK, so is for Australia, right? That is your constitution. Now, even within your same so-called monarchy, you are not finding consensus. Your own monarch is not supporting you. It's a very big thing. It has not happened before, right? Right. Okay. Which has not had happened before. So you are not getting support from your own monarch. So the monarch of that one territory is not supporting another territory. That is the power and cloud of India today, diplomatic cloud. So you have to realize I5 is not supporting you. Your own monarchy is not supporting you. And Rishi Sunak said, I'm going ahead with the FTA with India. I mean, that is not going to, that is not going to impact in any way whatsoever. So this is another important development which a lot of people are not covering, but this is a very important development. Which is now, let me take you to the other side. With all those things happening, what is going to be the plight of your country? How many billions of dollars you are going to lose? And if government of India is contemplating about the student thing, because it also starts from students. Where is the root? The root is the student. It all starts from students, most of the cases. And your so-called immigration policy, which you are running, it will take us 15 minutes to amend 2 clauses or 3 clauses. Your immigration policy will start flat. You can go and get Syrians, you can go and get, Jamaicans, or you can go and get people from these African countries who are invading Italy. You can get all of them. We have no problem. But you will not be able to get Indian talent and a law-abiding, contributing Indian citizens. That is the biggest harm you will go to your country, Canada. So this is one more point which I want to bring to your notice. Sir, aap kuch keh rahe hain?
No, this is just the quality. I'm seeing some drops from your voice on my channel. Sometimes what happens is the Janata will be able to see it correctly, but I will have some problems. I'm not 100% sure. Guys, please tell us if Sumitji's video and audio is coming through fine. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody's getting a good feed. Back to you. Thank you.
Sure. Sir, with these things developing, the impacts are much bigger. And now, as we are not going to relent, we are not going to backtrack, because if we backtrack for Canada, we have to backtrack for everybody. I mean, you are not doing anything for the enemies of India. Your land is used for, our diplomats are named, our prime minister is named, our home external affairs minister is named. Our late prime minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, she was our prime minister. She was my prime minister also. Politically, we might have a 1,000 difference, but as a prime minister, as a mother, we respect her. You have her, your those effigies and all those processions going out calling, celebrating her killing by the terrorists. So this kind of a thing is not going to be there. And let me tell you one more thing which is being contemplated. Tariff on your goods. A lot of your imports might be tariffed, so you will not be able to import here. Your access to you wanted UPI. I don't know whether this is going to go through or not. Your economy is not in a very good situation. You don't have a lot of people. So, and I want to also appeal here to my young friends and my people, especially Hindus and even the Sikhs. You see, why are you trying to immigrate to Canada? Why are you running after their PR? It's not they need you. It's not you're giving you something. They need you. They can't live without you. Your sorry to use this word, your utmost desire for this PR and Canadian and all is kind of stopping a lot of decisive action which India can take today. Because there's a big diaspora over there. But But you know, the problem here is that if you have to really reconsider your decisions vis-a-vis student visas to Canada, vis-a-vis long-term settling to Canada, vis-a-vis immigration to Canada, vis-a-vis your business investments in Canada, right? You have to be very, very sure at these things. So these are the things what we need to be very careful about. So that is the limited point I want to make. And when these intelligence agencies and external foreign powers get involved, sir, the things are going to get bad to us. And our decision is very sure. We are going to crack on the complete ecosystem. So you have to be very sure that you completely distance yourself from the ecosystem. You are not seen as a part of the ecosystem. It's not, you know, एक हिंदी में कहावत है, खाया पिया चाराना गिलास थोड़ा बारह आना, और चाराने की मुर्गी बारह आने का मसाला. I don't want that things to happen. I'm not trying to scare you, but the mood I'm getting or the mood I'm sensing for him, we are not going to give up. And Dr. Jaishankar is in US. Now it is morning time there. So we are going to hear something overnight on this. And as far as the Prime Minister Modi is concerned, I know the man, as much as I understand him, like 1 inch out of a football field. When it comes to national interest of India, he is not going to pull it back. And there have been people who have been supporting Kisan Andolan here. There have been people who have been fomenting travel here. There have been people who have been propping up props there. And this, you know, Canadian singers coming here as, you know, trying to do business over here, you know, it's not going to work. We all have friends there. We all have friends there. Like just saying, we all have friends there. But there is nothing about national interest. India is the country where everybody can fall back on. But I am warning on one thing. There should be no violence against our students and there should be no violence against our diaspora. If that thing happens, I'm telling you, nobody will be safe in Canada any long. Because we will not take this lined up. And whatever the connections are with Bollywood, whatever the connections are with of some people with other elements, you know, in Dubai, we know everything. I cannot talk more on that. We know everything. Push comes to shove, everything will start hitting social media, including the pictures. So it is going to get ugly, it's going to get dirty. But we hope and pray good sense prevails and this Justin Trudeau is going to do just out. You know, Justin, just go out. If you go out, the things will settle. We don't need to do this because we love Canada, we love Canadians, and never ever try to bring at this Hindu-Sikh divide. This is the last and the deciding mistake you will do. And if you are puppets, try to do this by, you know, trying to do something which is violent vis-a-vis Hindus or vis-a-vis students there or vis-a-vis our Sikh brothers there. That will be the decisive blow. Then you are going to see the wrath of India. And let me tell you, Justin, you are not competent to handle this. Over the years, we have developed a lot of capabilities. And we have developed a lot of things which can be used when push comes to shove. When it comes to national interest and interest of Bharat and interest of Bhartiyas, all the options are open. Let's not get into that. And with due respect, we can live without that 10 billion export. Out of 1 trillion which you are targeting right now, you are not even 1%, you're 0.1%. So don't live in this false bravado and don't live in this fool's paradise where you think that white man's supremacy is going to prevail. You are not getting support from your own monarch. That's why I wanted to bring this point. Your own monarch is not supporting you or catching it. Where I5 is not supporting you, or Americans are not supporting you. You have not been able to get 5 people who are, you know, just behind your back and talking about you. Even Pakistan gets 3 people. They get Turkey, they get Malaysia, and at times they get North Korea, and at times China. But for you, you are worse than Pakistan today. At least there are 3-4 friends which, you know, support them here and there. You're not able to get anybody. So I hope and pray good sense prevails. And my request again, kindly reconsider your decisions for PR, for settling, for students' visas, for business visas, and investments in Canada, because this man has completely lost it. And what I fear, if foreign powers and vested interests start driving the situation, then it's anybody's game. So I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I'm trying just to make you cautious because I want your life, money, investments to be 100% secure. So I will rest my case here.
Thank you so much. And I think there's a quick video that we may have to show about with Dr. Jaishankar. Can we have that video, please? It's been waiting for a while.
Bad habit for a long time of commenting on other people. Okay, they somehow think it's some kind of God-given right, huh? and I think they will have to learn only by experience that if you keep doing this, other people will also start commenting, and they will not like it when that happens.
I think this video sums it all. I could not have a better.
Let's go for some questions. And Sumit ji, आपसे एक छोटी सी एक निवेदन है. I may run out of time, and maybe the last 1 or 2 questions you may have to answer them yourself.
No worries.
Please excuse me for that.
No worries at all.
Advance
no worries
apologies, because there are lots of questions. Let's go with questions. Thank you, Balachandran Manjapra, for becoming a YouTube member. Pardeep Shori wants to know, why is it shocking that Indian diplomats have been tracking this Khalistani reject in Canada? Isn't that how Bharat has been giving dossier reports on these Khalistani dudes?
See, as a protocol, you have to first, you go find a diplomatic channel, you have to give them, these dossiers and all. But when you see, there is nothing called Khalistan in India. You have to understand that very clearly. There is not even one Sikh who supports Khalistan in India. So that thing is clear. And these are this handful of Pakistani agents. They work for K2 desk of Pakistan. So these people are trying to keep the ghost of Khalistan, alive. Now, unfortunately, when the election is coming here, they are trying to use this Khalistan and this Nijjar killing and all against Prime Minister Modi and India. That is why these international players, the 6, 7, 9 cabals I told you, and Pakistani YouTubers and media are working hand in glove to, create this canard at an international level. This is what we have to be worried about. When it comes to national interest, Pardeepji, we'll take care of it. Let there be no doubt about it. We'll take care of people wherever they are. There's not a problem about it. Next question. Namaskar, sir.
Next question, please. Pawan Kishore wants to know, Namaskaram, sir. Mr. Kharge has indicated that they will abandon the new parliament building. Is it the stand of all parties in India Alliance? What kind of a new low-level politics is this?
They have called it as something like a Modi Mart or something. I was just reading about it. Now, if that is how you see the parliament, that is how you see the tradition and culture of India, and that is how you see the Ashirvadam of Bhagwan Sree Ganesh, and then you say we are reduced to 20 seats or 10 seats or 40 seats, don't blame us. You have to blame your karma. Your intention of karma determines the outcome of karma. If your karma and intention are this, outcome will be like this. Then Narayan will give you a reply. Don't worry, you will be decimated. Next question, please.
Karthik Vishwanathan wants to know, I think US is firing shots from Canada's shoulders. Isn't the US rattled by power shift from West to Global South? Before you answer, one question, one clarification. Sumit made an observation that Pannu is a CIA agent. Sumit, I slightly differ from you because I've been getting a lot of feedback from many people. We don't know. It could be CCP also. It could be CCP
correct.
also.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm not denying because the kind of support and the kind of patronage he's getting, the way he has been able to move freely between America and Canada, it's not CIA doesn't know where he is. It's impossible you're in America and you're talking all the crap and nobody knows where you are. Even people like you and me can guess where he is now, right now. But
yes.
And we're not knowing it is a big surprise. So coming to the question, Karthik, yes, there is a shift of power. That is why, you see, this is a case, how do you handle the shift of power? That is why I'm telling you, we will not relent, we will not go back. We are going after the whole complete ecosystem. We are going after the complete ecosystem. I'm using the word ecosystem again and again, because if we relent, if we pull back this time, then the world will not see you there. Let me ask you one thing, sir, as a private citizen, I have nothing to do with government of India. This is not government of India's time. If US can take out Osama bin Laden, US can take out Qasem Soleimani, how there can be two sets of rules for two sets of individuals on planet Earth? We are a big country. We are a superpower in making. We are 20% of the humanity. We also have to look at our national interests when push comes to shove. So, this kind of double standards and hypocrisy is no longer acceptable. And this knocking out and all this game was started by the CIA, decades back. India never started. So the point here is you have to look within you before you point fingers at me. If I'm pointing a finger at you, there are 5 fingers which are pointing back to me. That is the reality of life. So look into it. There's no point of doing this. And nobody is questioning Canada. What the hell have you done with this Nijjar and all the dossiers given? How can you have terrorists on your soil? How come you're sympathizing and giving patronage to terrorists? These are bigger questions.
𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪 wants to know, is Soros funding behind Trudeau?
Jyotiji, yesterday, in last our discussion when we met you, I told you there are numerous pictures of Justin Trudeau with Soros. There are numerous pictures of Justin with his son, Alex. You can Google internet and you can find all these pictures. Now, what is he doing with them? What is his business with them? That talks a lot of things. If you have a picture with Osama bin Laden, people will question you, right? People will question you. If you have a picture with Ayman al-Zawahiri, people will question you. What is Justin doing with all these two impeccable gentlemen? बहुत शरीफ आदमी दुनिया के. What is he doing with them? That raises suspicion. Yes.
𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪 ji, if you think Gavin Newsom as governor of California is bad, the next lieutenant governor is a hand-picked candidate of George Soros. We've also talked about this. So things are going to go from bad to worse in California. We're all bracing for it, but that's okay. Nobody is going to be able to suppress our voice. We speak the truth. Next question, please. Bakul Dada wants to know why it takes so long to confiscate properties.
You see, Bakul Dada, you have to go per the law, the legal proceedings of the law. I, as an individual, can any day go to the Supreme Court of India and say, "Sahab, mere saath bahut zulm hua." Now, when the law when you have explored all the legal options, when they are not working, then there's a part of the law, there's a system of the law which kicks in, which is this. You cannot do this as the first step. This might be the third, fourth step. We have talked to Canada, we have told them time and again, we have warned them time and again. And when Canada is trying to use them as a bargaining chip or trying to create a canard with us and trying to interfere in our political systems and elections, then there's a separate set of the law which will kick in. So this is not the first step. This has to be a third, fourth, or fifth step. And it came at the right step. And I'm telling you now, the ecosystem is a target, not an individual.
Magnet Ranga wants to know, Namaskar, are the government of Punjab and government of India on the same page?
Ranga said, to the best of my knowledge, Bhagwant Manji is cooperating. And as far as I told you always, never doubt the police, never doubt the agencies. It was the same Punjab police which could dismantle Khalistani terror. How many decades back? They could dismantle them. KPS Gill was a Punjab police officer. And today we have competent officers in Punjab police. Is the political view. Look at UP. UP has been, known for the crimes, right? Under Yogi Ji, the UP police is now today the best police in India. How? It's the same set of people. It's the political will. A political will is there, everything will happen. To best of my knowledge, Mr. Bhagwant Mann is cooperating, and Punjab government understands that this can pull Punjab back into dark ages, which no government can afford. So I think it's a good strategy of Mr. Mann.
Vijay Kumar Srivastava wants to know, sir, whether the increasing tension between the countries, the flux of money to AAP will expose links to Khalistan.
You see, there have been some allegations, there have been discussions around this, and there is some proof, as per my knowledge goes with the agencies on this. At the right point of time, these all things will be taken out and they will emerge. And anybody who stands in between nation and national interest will handle accordingly and will not be tolerated. Let the person be anybody, koi bhi ho, will not be tolerated, and that message is loud and clear. I don't think that message needs to be told more loud at this point of time. These all people, I'm telling you, sir, these all people are shivering now. They know what is coming, what is going to hit them.
And Vijay Kumar ji, go back and look at Pannu's Twitter timeline, where he is accusing AAP of taking Khalistani funds and using them for elections in other states. It is there. Go take a look at his timeline. We don't have to answer this question. It is right there. So a lot of stuff has happened, by the way. Vivek Shukla wants to know, can you please name who is takla jihadi?
Takla jihadi is a person who is a takla and has an American passport. You can guess the rest.
Sachin Thakur wants to know, confiscation of Pannu's property is a message to CIA. Your views?
Sir, it's a message to the whole cabal, Sachinji. It's not to one. It's a message to the ecosystem. And as I told you, we'll be going after the ecosystem, not one person or person. This time, we are not going to relent. This is our test case. We cannot fail in our POC. POC is called proof of concept. So for anything to happen, this is the POC. We are not going to fail, and we have given them enough time, enough notice. They are not acting, and if they think they can manipulate a few governments here and there and can put pressure on us and hope that India will buckle down under the pressure, well, those days are gone. That's not going to happen in 2023 for sure. And after 24 elections,
Next question, please. 𝗤𝗧𝙠 𝗫𝗍𝘀 wants to know, why did it take Indian government 9 years to confiscate Pannu's assets? And even now, why just Pannu and not all Khalistanis? Is our government hesitant for some reason?
𝗤𝗧𝙠, I've been telling you, you have to go through a process. You have to go. Pannu is not an Indian citizen. He is an American and a Canadian dual citizen. We have to go through the process. We tried all our processes where they were not working. And when the government of Canada got into this dirty game, I will call it a dirty game, of harboring terrorists, then a different level and kind of action is required. There's always an escalation matrix. You don't start with a nuclear bomb to start a war, right, or a battle. There's an escalation which happens in due course of time. And what I'm telling you, that the ecosystem will be targeted. So ecosystem means everything, even sympathizer, financer, facilitator, whoever they are. Directly involved to होगा, directly involved, indirectly involved, sympathizer, financer, and facilitator, all will be targeted. So the crackdown is going to be much bigger, sir.
Thank you, Patriot. This is the last question I'm going to be reading out, Sumit ji. After this, you finish this program.
No problem.
Viewers, I have to apologize to you. I have to run on errand, and I have to be back in 1 hour's time to host Jaishankar IRG show. And don't miss that one. Lot more revelations about this and other topics. So over to you, Sumit ji, and I will take your permission to leave now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Can India observe Yogi ji's policy for Khalistanis? Well, there are better policies available also. I can't talk more on it. There are better policies available also. I told you Lawrence Bishnoi has directly threatened Pannu. And Lawrence Bishnoi was the one who took the credit for eliminating the 𝗒𝙗𝙁, the Khalistani who was killed 2 days back. So, and who knows, there's only one Lawrence Bishnoi. There can be many more in the world. And these gangsters have their rivalry. Dushmani hoti hai aapas mein. Things can happen. Things can go west. Thank you, Rao sir. Thank you for this. Next question. Thank you, sir. Jagdish ji, thank you very much. Rajiv Dhaiya ji is asking, why no Western media reporting Nijjar's Pakistan visit? His name, no-fly list, his no-fly list, and his one arrest by Canadian police linked to training camp in Canada. You see, that is where the tacit assets are, Rajiv ji. When you have assets, you will not name them. You will not make them useless. If you talk about this Pakistani visit and the AK picture, now why anybody is not saying it is not in Pakistan? Why anybody is not denying it? This is a mock picture. Nobody can deny it because it's a real picture. Because that exposes the whole media. That exposes the patronage and the protection which he was getting on Canadian soil. That is why they will not talk about it. They will not talk about a training camp. And I've been telling you from the day one, this kind of a patronage, this kind of a leeway cannot be given without the patronage and without the protection of the government of the day. So do you think terrorist camps in Pakistan are running and Pakistan government doesn't know? How come there is no terrorist camp running in India? Because we don't let them happen, right? So this is a very, very known thing. So they are trying to protect their interests, Rajiv ji. It's very simple and plain. Next question, please. Next question, Fire of knowledge. Alia Shah, Arzu Ghazvi, Sajid Tarar, Kamar Shima, Muzammil Qureshi, Shoaib Chaudhary are jihadi YouTubers. How many more on the list? Jalta hai. You see, you have to understand fire of knowledge. It is not about the names. Nobody can live and breathe in Pakistan and talk against Pakistani army, Pakistani government. So when you have to infiltrate the army camp or when you have to infiltrate the enemy camp, not only through direct force, it is also through Sam, Dam, Dandabay. So this lipstick on polish jihad. Some people are trying to be as Americans. Some people are trying to be as Europeans. Some people are trying to be living in America. These are all tactics which they are trying to use, but the motive of everybody is same. everybody is given a target. Everybody works on the guidance and on behalf of ISPR. Like one of the person here has a mandate to infiltrate Indian organizations through individuals. I will not name the person. So this is what is being done. They are now trying to ferment this Hindu-Sikh divide. This is what they are trying to do. So it is a big game of propaganda. These are only props. These are props of ISPR. Next question, please. Okay, we seem to have, now let me talk about this. This is my initiative about giving you advisory services on a one-to-one basis on a video, right? You can see the ID sumitvirofficial@gmail.com. If you're facing issues with life, business, career, economic impacts on business, how to can do a national building, and immigration and other things, where you think my opinion and my views and my experience can help you, please write to me, and I might even help slot appointment to you. As it's a paid advisory, so you don't have to worry about privacy, confidentiality, because a lot of things you cannot ask me on this telecast, and a lot of things I cannot answer you on this telecast because it's a public telecast. So for anything more, please feel free to reach me, and I'm getting great support from you guys. And thank you very much. I love you all, and it's really a pleasure to work with you all. And Sachinji, let's move to the next part. So with that note, you can see the email ID here. That is where you have to write. On that note, thank you very much. It was a pleasure knowing you all. I would like to say Vande Mataram, Jai Hind, Bharat Mata Ki Jai, and as usual, before going, Har 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 Mahadev. 𝗤𝗧